So here we are. This is New England Next Gen. This is Sarah Howard, and we are back. I want to bring up this. This is like a reaction video, but it's more of I'm starting to do a little bit of pieces on people that we need to expose to the public, as far as needing to know about people that we maybe should be careful who we have in power when they do things that are inappropriate. It's not just like a school teacher or a doctor or something like that. This person, I've done my research, and she is currently the current member of the Hanover, Massachusetts Select Board, and she's actually the former chair. And when Charlie Kirk passed, she came up with this comment. She posted a status on her story, so everyone in her story saw this, okay? So I'm going to read it to you because I know you can't really see on this picture right here. But it says, "Let me be clear. I am not a white Christian nationalist sympathizer or apologist. Don't tell me about your Christian love when Charlie Kirk is a voice you idolized. Charlie was a racist, homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, xenophobic, hateful bigot. There is no hate like Christian love. He was not a good person. No person is all good or all bad, but he continued to spew hate guised as Christian love. I'm not grieving the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm grieving the current state of America. I'm grieving the politics of white supremacy having a strange hold on our nation. I'm grieving the ignorance of white Christian nationalists not understanding how their rhetoric causes harm to marginalized communities. I'll continue to condemn violence while simultaneously calling out hateful bigots. I will never have a space for Nazis. I don't wish death upon any person, even Charlie Kirk. This isn't the time for celebration. This is a time for grieving. Please understand the way you grieve this and the way I do will be likely completely different. And I am grieving the ignorance of this nation, and you are grieving the death of a Nazi." Like, can you believe that? Like, now I will tell you that the reason why I'm bringing this up, this whole story up, is because there are professionals reaching out to me about how they brought this up to the board and mentioned it and said, like, what is going on? And people went for, wanting her to be held accountable for this. And you know what? They did nothing. Absolutely nothing. She still has her job. She still gets to be empowered as a on the select board. She gets to continue to go on her life after saying such literal hateful things about somebody. Okay, so I'll give her lessons. I didn't even write a script for this, but when you hold a place in power, like even me with my podcast, I am nobody, but I would never go out there and say such hateful things about anybody, and that for that matter, not anybody at all. We learn these things when we watch Disney movies, right? Because we would say, if we don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that's from Bambi, guys. And we shouldn't, if we have nothing nice to say, if we don't agree, you don't go out on Facebook as a government official and say what she said. So that's, this is what I'm saying. It's just completely wrong. And we need to, this is in Hanover, Massachusetts, you guys. This is like in our backyard. This is our state. And we can't just let people say this stuff and not be held accountable. So, it's crazy to me. And this post right here, this was someone's phone. Someone brought it up to somebody else who brought it up to me. They wanted it to get to somebody's hands. This person showed their phone. He's a doctor, and he showed his phone to somebody that knows me, and he wants the story to get out. He wants people to hear how frustrated they are on how somebody can say something like this, whether you like Charlie or not, or anything like that, and say that. Like, it's really bad. It looks really bad. And I don't know. Do we, I know that people aren't going to always agree about Charlie, and I get that. But do you think that this is the right thing to do? I'd love to know your thoughts. You can put those in the comments there. Uh, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to pull up, we can go back and say, she's a public official, and the statement she posts, okay, let's just give the facts, guys, right? What she posted is highly political, inflammatory, and directed at a specific individual and ideology. It includes saying all those things about what she said, which I'm not going to read again. But for, a private citizen, yes. Okay, so we can argue, it's just free speech. But as a private citizen, yes. But for an elected official, what she wrote raises legitimate concerns. And these are the concerns, guys. One, bias is against constituents. She openly states that she will never be a safe space for certain groups. As a select board member, she's required to represent all residents, not only the ones that align with her ideology. Okay, so that's a fact. I'm saying this tough, guys. Number two, inflammatory, divisive language, guys. Her wording isn't just expressing disagreement, it assigns hate based motives to entire groups of people and faith communities. This can be viewed as violating expected standards of civility and governance. Three, the impact on public trust, which is the big issue here. That's why people are coming to me to get this story out. A community leader posting that kind of rhetoric undermines the trust in her ability to judge fairly on local issues. And four, double standard. If a conservative elected official had posted something equally hostile towards a protected group, activists would demand resignation immediately and likely succeed. The lack of accountability here is what stands out, okay? So that's the biggest thing. Should like a select board person be able to say what she said? No, they shouldn't. Should they be held accountable? Yes, they should. What are we going to do about it? I don't know yet. But it is super important that we get this out to the public. I mean, people need to know what's being said. If you are a person in power and you say something as bad as this, you're going to be found because the public sees you. The public sees your Facebook. The public sees your thing. You have to be extremely careful in a place of power saying what you're going to say because we are trusting you. And this is exactly like it ties into everything. If they're like, why don't you know, why how can I get more voters to trust? How can I get more voters to vote for me? Well, guess what? It's not by doing that. You have to be smart about what you say. You can believe in, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you can she can think all that. She can think all of that all she wants. That is her thoughts, her words, yeah. But she cannot put it out for the public eye and she cannot put it out there. I don't want to know about it. It's kind of like, you know, we talk about like, I don't want to know your sex life. We don't want to know what if that you want somebody else dead or that you're not going to mourn their death or that you think this. We don't want that. We never wanted that. We want you to do your job. We want you to be someone that we can trust with local issues. We want you to follow through with what you say you're going to do and do it the right way. So that's how I'm just going to go there. I don't know if there's anything else I can say. Let's see. How can we, you know, handle this, right? So I'm going to look this, like, you know, I want to see if I can do like a call for accountability, right? When a private citizen posts inflammatory political rhetoric, it's protected speech. When it's an elected select board member publishing statements that insult, stereotype, and vilify entire groups of people, including residents, she is sworn to represent, by the way. That crosses a line. The remarks posted by this Hanover official did not simply criticize an idea or policy, they assigned hateful motives to whole communities, mocked people of faith, and declared that certain residents would never find fairness or safety in her presence. And that is not leadership, that is biased. And that is the most important thing here, guys. Public officials have a responsibility to serve all constituents equally, exercise good judgment in public communication, avoid inflammatory political attacks, and model civility and impartiality. Now, I'm starting to believe that that doesn't exist in Massachusetts. I really don't think like there's no one big you know, political figure right now that I can say, "Oh, you know what? This person is the ideal model citizen. I'd love to follow them." Because I have there's so much stuff on social media right now. And when you say stuff like I see people saying stuff like this, and then people are infighting on Facebook, and it's just like an endless vicious cycle. How are we supposed to find anybody good for us when people do this? At least if they stop doing this, we would have a little bit of a chance of thinking that the world was a better place than it really is. But right now, it's not seeming that way. And that's my opinion, guys. Sorry. But when an official openly expresses hostility toward groups of people based on their beliefs, how can the community trust her to make fair decisions on behalf of those very residents? And this is not about politics, this is about standards, professionalism, and the integrity of local government. Hanover deserves leaders who are capable of representing everyone, not leaders who publicly signal which constituents they cannot stand, do not respect, and refuse to be a safe space for. It's time for Hanover to expect better. It's time for Hanover to take accountability. You need to hold her accountable, Hanover. That's what I have to say about this. You know, we have to do something about that. They need to change something. It was my phone. I'm making sure that I got all my facts in there. But we need to do something about it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for everyone who did subscribe to get me to the 50 subscribers so I can go live. It's going to be great. I will plug that I am going to see Riley Gaines on Saturday. If you want to come, comment me. I will help you get the link to register if there's still spots available. And I'm trying to think of the days. On December, I believe 6th, you'll have to go on look me up or comment on here. I can get you the details, but we're gonna do a standout supporting ICE in Burlington. It's gonna be great. I love it. So if anybody wants to get in on some of the events that are gonna be going on, feel free. If you want to start a TPUSA chapter, feel free to ask me questions about that. I can get you aligned with whoever you need to, depending on where you are. And I wish you all a beautiful good night. Remember, we need to hold these people in power accountable for their actions. Only then, when we start to make all of our people that serve us be respectful individuals, can we move forward with we can have whatever political party in power, but whoever is there in those chairs, they need to be accountable, and they need to be respectful, and they do need to be a safe space for everyone. So with that being said, we need to get rid of this person in Hanover. No, I'm kidding. But we really need to hold her accountable for this. She should it's worse that she's someone in this place of power, but I just want to put that out there, all right, guys? So at the end of the day, if you want to know who this is Vanessa O'Connor. She is the she is on the select board for Hanover. She helps make all the decisions for Hanover. So that is who this is, and I'm sure you can find it. I know they did a whole meeting about it to try to help take the inflammatory down, but they didn't actually do anything, and they didn't hold her accountable. They didn't apologize. They didn't have her apologize. And regardless, even if she apologized, it is bad. I haven't seen a message this bad in a while. It's worse than my comments I've gotten when I've gone on standouts, but that's beyond the point. But thank you guys. This is Sarah with Next Gen. And feel free to bring me your stories. If you see stories like this and you want to get them heard, if you have a problem, you have something that you need to get voiced out, you can come on my podcast yourself. We can talk it out, and we can try to work together to figure it out. All right, guys? I love you all, and have a good night. Bye, guys.